The movie starts with Chihiro, a 10-year-old girl, sulking in the backseat of her parents' car. The family is on its way to a new home in a new town, and Chihiro doesn't want to. Her father took a shortcut that leads them into an entrance to what seems like an abandoned theme park. The parents investigate and find a deserted stall piled with food. The two starts eating and try to make Chihiro eat too, but she has a bad feeling about it and refuses the food. Chihiro wanders around and meets a boy who warns her to leave before dark. She runs back to the stall and found that her parents have turned into pigs. As night falls, shadowy spirits fill the park, and Chihiro starts becoming transparent. The boy appears again and coaxes her to eat food from the spirit world, which will keep her from disappearing. He then leads her to a busy bathhouse, and after getting her to safety, he gives her instruction on how to get a job in the spirit world, which he says is the only way to survive. The boy introduces himself as Haku. Chihiro first goes to the boiler room. There, she meets Kamaji and a girl named Lin. Kamaji bribed Lin to take Chihiro to Yubaba, the witch owner of the bathhouse, to ask for a job. After signing on a job contract, Yubaba steals characters from Chihiro's name, leaving her with a new name, Sen. The next morning, Haku takes Sen to see her pig parents, who no longer remember they were once human. Haku tells Sen how he could no longer remember his name too, and if Sen forgets her real name, she will never be able to go home with her parents. On Sen's first day of work at the bathhouse, she encounters a silent white-faced spirit called No Face. She also cleans a stink spirit, which turns out to be a polluted river spirit. The river spirit rewards her job well done with a magical herbal cake. The following day, Sen awakens to find everyone gone, and No Face, who has gained a voice by eating a frog worker, is causing an uproar by giving gold to all the workers who serves him food. Outside of the bathhouse, Sen sees the white dragon Haku being attacked by birds made of paper. Sen helps him, but Haku flies to Yubaba's room. Sen immediately ran after him, but while looking for Haku, Sen met No Face again and tried to offer her lots of gold. Sen refused, which caused anger to No Face. It starts swallowing stuff, causing chaos at the bathhouse. Meanwhile, arriving at Yubaba's quarters, Sen finds Haku unconscious. The paper bird that has been hiding on Sen's back seems to turn into Yubaba, but actually, it's her twin sister, Zeniba. Zeniba has followed Haku because he stole her gold seal. Disgusted by Bo, Yubaba's giant baby, Zeniba turns him into a small mouse and turns Yubaba's pet bird into a fly. Thrashing around, Haku smashes the paper bird and Zeniba disappears. Haku and Sen fall down a dark shaft into the boiler room. Sen gives Haku part of the herbal cake the river spirit gave her. Haku vomits up the gold seal and a slug, which Sen squashes. Haku turns back to his boy form but is still very ill. Sen decides to go to Zeniba in an attempt to convince her to cure Haku. Kamaji gives Sen train tickets to get to Zeniba. On her way to the train, Sen confronts No Face, who is still terrorizing the bathhouse. She gives him the rest of the herbal cake that she's been saving for her parents. He begins to vomit and becomes angry at Sen, chasing her through the bathhouse. As No Face runs, he vomits up all the people and things he's eaten, getting smaller and smaller until he's back to his normal size. Then, Sen the ball mouse, the Yubaba fly, and No Face leave together for the train to Zeniba's house. Haku forces Yubaba to a promise to send Sen and her parents back to their world, and in return, he will bring back Yubaba's son, Bo. When Sen arrives at Zeniba's, she asks Zeniba to forgive Haku for stealing the seal and apologizes for killing the slug. Zeniba explains that Yubaba put the slug in Haku to control him, and that Sen has already healed Haku with her love. Haku arrives in his dragon form, and Sen climbs on his back so he can fly her, the ball mouse, and the Yubaba fly back to the bathhouse. Sen remembers that when he was very young, she fell in a river. Instead of allowing her to drown, the river carried her to safety. She had forgotten the river's name, but now remembers that it was called the Kohaku River. Sen tells Haku she thinks he was the river. Upon hearing his true name, Kohaku River, Haku's dragon scale falls away and turns back into his boy shape. They arrive at the bathhouse and Haku reminds Yubaba she promised to free Sen and her parents. Yubaba says Sen must first identify her parents from a group of pigs. Sen looks over to the pigs and declares correctly that none of them are her parents. Her contract dissolves and she again becomes Chihiro. Free at last, Chihiro finds her parents, and as they drive away, Chihiro assures her parents that she can probably handle a new home and school.
Here are Propp's functions of fairy tales that we can find in Spirited Away by Hayao Miyazaki. First, we have the seventh function. The victim submits to deception and thereby unwittingly helps her enemy. By victim, we mean Chihiro's parents. The parents' stubbornness led them to a deserted stall piled with food in the abandoned theme park. They ate almost everything that's in there without thinking that it's not for them to consume. They even invited Chihiro to eat too, but she refused. Following this, the next event relates to another function of fairy tale, the eighth function. The villain causes harm or injury to a member of a family. Chihiro's parents was punished for eating the food of the spirit world. The parents turned into pigs, which are believed to be a symbol of greed and gluttony. This scene is a direct comment toward consumerism. The director also pointed out the negative aspect of overindulgent consumption of goods by modern-day people. Next, we have the ninth function. Misfortune or luck is made known. The heroine is approached with a request or a command. This is when Chihiro met Haku. Haku informed her on how to get a job because this is the only way one can survive in the spirit world. We also have the 10th function. The seeker agrees to or decides upon a counteraction. In this part, Chihiro followed Haku's advice. She first asked help from Kamaji, the boiler man, to give her work. Then Kamaji lied to Lin that Chihiro is his granddaughter and told her to take Chihiro to work under Yubaba, the bathhouse owner.
The heroine is tested, interrogated, attacked, etc., which prepares the way for receiving either a magical agent or helper. In her work at the bathhouse, facing many challenging situations, she proves her worth. Most of it involved cleaning the unclean spirits, such as the stink spirit, which turns out to be a polluted river spirit, and dealing with No Face, a dark spirit who resembles a black humanoid being with a white mask. Function number 14. The heroine acquires through the use of magical agent. As a reward for her well-done cleaning, the river spirit gives Chihiro a magic herbal cake, in which she eventually used to help Haku and No Face. Function number 15. The heroine is transferred, delivered, or led to the whereabouts of an object of search, with the goal of apologizing for Haku stealing the seal and killing the slug, as well as to bring back Bo and Yubaba to their original form. Chihiro rode the train with No Face via the sea railway from the bathhouse train platform. Function number 25. A difficult task is proposed to the heroine. To set Chihiro's parents free, Yubaba asked her to make a guess which among the pigs are her parents. And lastly, function number 26. The task is resolved. Chihiro told Yubaba that none of the pigs are her parents, and she is correct. Because of this, the magical punishment to her parents was finally lifted.